Hey gang, welcome back. So something that came up in the community, it's come up a few times now, I was surprised I didn't do a video on this, is the need or desire to continue to have your chain combo multiplier progress when you have dead time. So I'll walk you through what that is for a second and what our solve is. So in scoring, you have a thing called chains. You can use chains in the game for scoring, and then you can set a time interval. And the time interval is the maximum time between two chains. After this time, the chain is broken and the multiplier is reset to 1. So in our case, that's 6 seconds. That felt pretty good to us. And then we have a max chain combo here, and this isn't really about that. So what people are finding, and we found the same problem, right, is for us, one of our big design goals was that with the chain combo multiplier, that I wanted to have players be able to continue to maintain their chain combo multiplier across a whole level. So if you're just really on it and you're always killing enemies before that 6-second timer expires, then you are going to get the maximum kind of score. So really, really fun, I think, in that respect. So now there's two things that you'll notice. So one is when you're doing damage to a boss, there are two ways to solve this. So one of the easy ways to do this is if you simply come back in here and you set hitting enemies keeps chain alive. You can turn that on. So I need to actually kill an enemy first. Let's see. Come here. Someone. I need an enemy. Hello. All right. So now the chain combo multiplier has started. So we have our drain out here. And every time we do damage to the boss, then and I have a kill condition here. Then it'll continue to reproc or redo the chain combo multiplier. So also super very helpful. Man, I keep running forward. Okay, but now if you set it up that way, that works. But then you don't, and you can set the amount of damage threshold, which is great little feature. But one of the things that you don't get from this is you don't have the ability to set additional rewards. So one of the things that we've done, and I highly recommend if you guys haven't done this, I have a little sandbox level, right? That just kind of has just about everything I build because you can copy and paste script and anything from one level to another, which is great, right? And so I usually have these kind of areas up here where, like for instance, I don't know, I have game endings logic. So this is how I do my scorecards at the end of the whole game, right? And I always like putting together maybe just a little like trigger. And then that trigger essentially is set to enemy's HP is less than 1. It's not connected to an enemy. And then I connect that to the text object. And then I put in little notes for what that is, right? So, and so one of the things I have is I have a setup for my boss combo maintainer. Okay. So now that you guys have that in mind, I have down here, I have in the boss combo maintainer, I have basically a trigger condition, and this trigger condition is set to enemy's HP is 4,500. In our particular case, the starting HP for the boss is 5,000, and I know that with the rapid shot and the power shot, it is possible to continue to do enough damage to the boss to continue to reset the chain combo multiplier. And so what happens is I do this evaluation. Each one of these gets attached to the boss. As you can see, it's 4,000 there, and then it's 3,500, and yeah, you get the point. And then that connects to a kill condition. And the kill condition, I want in this case to have score and item, and then I have essentially what I call a combo maintainer enemy. So, and in this particular case, it's really nice that we have this. So the combo maintainer enemy is set to invisible because I didn't want those to show up because they're just squares. Right. And then the other thing, and so what I do from there is these things don't need collision. No more wave stuff there. I set the HP to 1. Doesn't really matter because we're using a kill trigger. And then the important thing is I have items. So I use my green glowing goodies that shoot out of enemies that fill up my super gauge. And then I basically set how many of these that I want to spawn and all the radius, and you can put all some nice stuff right on that. Nothing for a death explosion, but you could do some stuff like that if you wanted to. All right. So, and then nothing on the animation, nothing on the waypoints, and everything else is just plain vanilla. And so what I do is with the enemy attachment system, I attach these, pardon me, to the boss. And so I've attached all of those. Highly recommend that you turn on snapping. It makes it easier to align stuff. And then, get over there. And then what I do is I take this and I put these, I align these on to her. They can be in back, they can be in front, doesn't matter because it's the explosion stuff. And then what happens is, get rid of this. Actually, so the chain combo multiplier is starting. You can see here that as I'm shooting the boss, these green glowing bits and with little blood splatters, they come out and then they shoot into the player and they start to fill up my super meter. So to give you an example of that. And so that's how you set that up. Okay, so that's one solve. And now you've got a sense for how that works. So one other thing that is actually quite useful is when you say you have the intro to a boss, and generally the intro to the boss, you have 3-4 seconds. You don't want to have too long. You know, maybe you have some dialogue for whatever reason, and you need to continue to keep your chain combo meter alive. One of the things you can do is you take the same setup, which I already did just previous to this. I also do this for our pacifist mode, and here you just use a timer. We know that 6 seconds is our max time, so we have a timer that goes into the kill condition, and then the combo maintainer. So. And you can basically see if I just go into runtime here. And there you go. I'm going to show that to you real quick here. So we'll kill this guy here. Our chain combo multiplier has started in the upper right corner. And then that reprocs at 5.5 seconds. And woo, and it reprocs. So I wouldn't make it super, super tight. There is a little bit of variability when you're using countdown timers, but that's why we leave about a half a second or so. And now what you can do is you can also set these enemies, go into the wave setting, and you can attach these to the camera. So that way, as the camera is moving, they will go along with the camera and continue to re-proc your chain combo multiplier. Turn off our stop camera, and you can see what that looks like, just as you'd expect. So now what you can do is you can string these together on your intro. You don't have to put any items, you don't have to put anything else there as long as they're dying. And now you have the ability to continue to get your chain combo multiplier to continue. And it gives you the ability to have a little bit more control over items, rewards, score, because in these, right, you can also, if you wanted to, could set the score. We set it to 0 in our case, but you could set it to, you know, I don't know, 100. And then it would essentially also give you the ability to control, give, you know, players more opportunities to, you know, to have stuff occur, right? So, and you can see that here. So we got the score 1 for that particular enemy, and then the chain combo multiplier is now at 2. And since you can see then, because now you've got multiple enemies killing, so like you could also start to stack things up that way. Okay, short and sweet. I hope that is helpful. I know on the engine side, we'll eventually have additional functionality to pause the chain combo meter and to have a little bit more sophisticated setups, but this gives you a version of being able to accomplish that functionality while we wait for the new versions of the engine. All right, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and to everyone else, we'll see you next time.